Oh,
sorry.
hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hi. Oh, hello, everyone. My name is Jana, and I'm the head of community engagement for Pride in Surrey, and I'm joined by Cathy, who is our community engagement representative. Hi, Cathy.
Hi, Jana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Thank you for joining me, Cathy. Obviously, we're doing a lovely chat with two lovely ladies that
We are.
yeah, I'm really
Yes.
excited. I'm really excited about this. So let me just introduce what we're actually going to talk about. So we're now in March, and it is the first week of March is marked as LGBTQ plus fostering and adoption week. And this is the annual campaign that is run by the UK's leading charity called New Family Social. As you know, here at Pride in Surrey, we are proud to support everyone and every good cause. And we continue to be supported by Surrey County Council. And this week, we have joined our focus to promote our LGBT community and, to raise awareness of how of the possibilities of fostering and adopting in Surrey. I have been talking to some amazing people in Surrey County Council, the people who deal with all things fostering, and they have connected me with this incredible same-sex couple who are actually in the process of trying to become foster parents. Their names are Laura and Myra. Hopefully I got it right. And they will be joining us to talk about the process and, how actually, I don't want to say it's easy because I'm sure it's not easy, but the fact that, you can be LGBT and you can adopt or foster. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, that's right. I think there's still some people that think that LGBT can't foster, but you can foster whether you're LGBT, a single person, whether you're married or not. So it's great to get this information out there so people know that they can adopt and foster. Sorry.
Absolutely. I mean, from my research, I think it's only 14 countries that LGBT people can foster and adopt. So let's bring them on and see if they can tell us a little bit more about it.
Cool.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi, girls. Welcome, Laura and Myra. Laura on the left, my left, and Myra on the right. Hi, girls. Thank you for joining us today. How are you?
We're good, thank you. Are you?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're good. We're just really excited to talk about this because, to be honest, Cathy has got her own experience. She's got a child or two and potentially some fostering experience. To me, I don't have any children. I don't have any pets. I have a partner, Molly, and I think in the very beginning of our relationship, we did think about having children, but I think we kind of turned our focus on different things, and that's focusing on LGBT community and helping those in need. But also, she works with young children in need and stuff. And I'm not gonna say no to potentially maybe fostering one day. So I am so excited to talk to you about this. So do you want to just introduce yourselves?
Yep. So hi everybody, I'm Laura. Hi everyone, I'm Myra. Should we do ages as well? Do you want that info?
Only if you want. We'd love to know your age. I wanted to ask earlier, but I wasn't brave enough.
I stopped and I was thinking, how old am I? I was born in 1987, so I'm sure I'm 33. I'm 34 this year. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'm currently 35, soon to be 36.
Nice.
Our birthdays are both in June, 11 days apart, but different years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
summer babies.
Yes.
Expensive month then.
Yeah. Definitely.
So 34, 35. Okay, I would say that's a good age to start thinking about fostering. Or I mean, actually, from what I was looking at online, apparently, when it comes to fostering, you can foster as early as 18. with adoption, I think you have to be 21. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, maybe 18 is a little bit too early. But then there's so many kids out there, you know, that do need helping. So yeah, if an 18-year-old is actually quite grown up and sensible person, why not? But do you want to just tell us, like, maybe how long you've been together and how long into your relationship you decided that you would like to start foster?
So we met in Germany. This is where I'm a bit pants with dates and years. Was it 2015?
16, Laura, I think.
No, 15. 15,
Yeah.
see, it was. Yes, we both, our work took us both to Germany, so we met there. And maybe a year, we were just friends in Germany. We used to go running together. Both got dogs. And then I moved to Cyprus with my job. Myra then moved across, but only for a short period of time. And yeah, one romantic weekend, she dazzled me. We then did long distance for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And then we got, we had a civil partnership. Last year, sorry. Yeah, 2020.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
So along the way, we've each had our own dog. Myra's got Ozzy and I've got my Bailey. And then we've also adopted and rescued 2 kittens from Cyprus. So we're kind of expanding as we go along.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. I have been to Cyprus myself, and I've got to say there was a lot of cats, stray cats and dogs running around. So it's hard to go to Cyprus and not actually adopt one.
Definitely.
Do you foster pets? Or do you just adopt them?
No, yeah, we did.
Good
We
question.
didn't actually do any. Oh, did we do any together? Oh, we did have one, but you were away again. Yeah, I used to foster animals as well, mainly dogs. Actually, it wasn't cats, but yeah, that was quite tough when they found their new homes. But I'm in touch with the people, or the new owners, shall I say, on Facebook. So it's nice seeing their pictures and updates as well.
Oh my God, fantastic. So that answered my question, because actually I wasn't sure you can foster animals. So you can foster animals.
Yeah, and I think in the UK as well. I think it's becoming a bigger thing now, but don't quote me on anything that I say, because sometimes I dream it and think it's actually happened. But yeah, I think you can.
No, you can foster animals. My friend does for the RSPCA, fosters dogs. So yeah, it's
I honestly didn't have a clue. And you know, this is why I like connecting with people through Pride in Surrey, because I just feel like I learn something new every day. But so how do you go from fostering an animal into thinking about fostering a child?
For me, I feel like I'm the one doing all the talking. Sorry, Myra will speak in a minute. For me, it's always something I've wanted to do. And when you talked to Jana about the age being 18, it was something I inquired about with Cheshire County Council, or Cheshire West and Chester, when I was living there before I moved abroad with my job. At the time, I think I was about 23, 24. And I didn't actually start the official process, but I met with the social worker. We talked about the process, and their advice at the time was for me to kind of go and experience the world a little bit more. I was by myself at the time, and I think they just thought, at the age I was, you know, embrace your life, come back in a couple of years. Mainly, I think, because I talked about wanting to teach abroad, and actually it was the best advice, because now I feel totally ready for our journey together into fostering. So yeah, so Myra came along as friends, and then in the relationship, and I expressed to her that it was something I've always wanted to do, and then you were fully on board as well, weren't you?
Yep.
I believe Cathy has got some questions for you about how you get into fostering.
Yeah, I just wondered, like, obviously you've chosen to go through Surrey County Council. Is that because they were more LGBT friendly, or is there a reason why you went through them rather than anybody else?
So with my job, I've been sent back to work in the Surrey area. So when looking across the local authority, Surrey is our local one.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sorry? Yeah,
that kind of makes sense.
Because there's quite a lot of, and you probably know this, Cathy, they're not called private, independent fostering associations.
That's right,
that might be wrong. But actually, when we first made the inquiry, it was because of what Myra said, and Surrey were brilliant in terms of responding to the email.
Yeah.
I want to say within
That's
hours. The recruitment lady, she's now left, I believe. She's gone on to other things, but she was so helpful. And within, I want to say days, we were enrolled on an introduction to fostering, like Zooms meeting with other prospective foster carers.
And it was something that crossed both myself and Laura's mind. Obviously, being a same-sex couple, would it have any implication? But hats off to Surrey. You know, whatever flag you fly, if you want to do fostering, Surrey will welcome you with open arms, and you can start the process. Yeah,
that's great. Great to know that Surrey are so inclusive.
Totally.
So I mean, you started off with the Zoom meeting and the introduction. Was that sort of just one evening, or?
It was one evening, and I think going back now, it must have been. We actually started our fostering journey from with our assessing social worker at the beginning of November. So it must have been around the summertime, September time, I want to say.
Okay.
And then that ball quickly got rolling, really, didn't it? Yeah. Because it wasn't a problem, but because we were abroad and not actually in the UK at the time, they wanted to almost make sure that we were not going to go through with it, but we were actually moving to Surrey, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But because of COVID and the pandemic, it meant that all our training was online.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
So obviously you're talking about September 2020.
Yes.
Yeah. So from doing a little research, it does say that adoption as well as fostering takes around 6 months. And, you know, I'm really surprised that you're actually saying you started the process in September. And actually, because I believe you're almost at the end of it. You have a board meeting or something in March?
Yeah. Our panel meeting's the 23rd
panel
of March.
meeting, sorry.
Yeah. No,
that is about 6 months, yeah. It was September through to March is around 6 months.
Yeah, but you know that really amazes me because when I was reading this and it said 6 months, I was thinking surely for girls it must have taken longer because of COVID and you know everybody's under pressure and everybody's struggling and stuff. But it looks like it's still kind of taking 6 months. So and you know I can't big Surrey County Council enough because yes, like you say, they are incredible and you know they've connected us with you and they just so about doing good for communities and I think that's fantastic. I absolutely love them. Obviously they are a big sponsor of Pride in Surrey and I mean they are fantastic people working in Surrey County Council.
They've been amazing, Jana. Like literally we've had weekly meetings with our assessing social worker as well as team meets with other foster carers on their journey as well. And then on top of that, there's been training that's been done in groups. So everything for us until we arrived in Surrey at the end of January was done online. So it really isn't a barrier to anybody wanting to become a foster carer, you know, given the pandemic.
Fantastic. So you arrived, when you say January, you mean January this year?
Yeah, we arrived back on the 26th of January. We landed in the UK.
It's amazing that they've been able to do everything remotely, hasn't it?
They really have been superb.
They've been really accommodating, definitely.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It's good to know that as well, that it's the COVID thing that they've adapted to it and they can still move you forward quite quickly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They could have said before, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, is because it's a 6 month process, it's obviously an investment of their time and money and resources and training. They could have said to us, you know, wait until you arrive in Surrey and then we'll get the ball rolling. But because we knew we were coming back, we knew I was taking a career break, we just thought, you know what, let's do it whilst we're working. So that's another tick for anybody, you know, considering going into fostering, that you can do the training around your, whether you work full time, whether you work part time, whether you don't work at all. They're very accommodating.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, brilliant.
Fantastic. So
praise them enough, can we?
Been really
so
good.
what are the actual conditions of becoming a foster parent? I mean, did you have to I think we already spoke about the age. I do know one thing. So apparently since 2005, you don't have to be married. You can be a single parent, and you can be LGBTQ person. So I think that's fantastic. But on top of that, is there any other conditions you have to fulfill to become a foster parent?
No, the one thing I can think of is that they do, if you are choosing children under 5 because of the commitment, because of the family time that the child may have or the children may have with birth family, that one carer doesn't work full time. So this is why it works and blends with us so beautifully, really, because of me taking the career break. Because I think, I'm on a fostering group on Facebook, and I do read quite a lot of posts from people almost questioning that, saying I want to be a foster carer, but I do work full time. And, my local authority has said, no, I can't work at all. But it is dependent on the age. So, if you are someone who works full time, whether you're married, whether you're single, regardless, it is something to be mindful of with the ages if you are wanting to work full time still. But then there's plenty of people who post and say their employers are really flexible, and some people have gone on to bank work. I guess if you're a nurse, or I don't know what other people do bank work, but there is definitely flexibility with it.
That kind of leads on to my question was, for people that are watching, what qualities do you think that you need to be a foster carer? What do you think that you would?
Adaptable,
patient.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Loving, I would say.
Yeah, caring.
And I guess wanting to make a difference.
Yeah. And supportive, isn't it? You've got to be able to support these children and have a lot of patience.
Non-judgmental as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, and also there's something we talked about before, and that's potentially the fact that you have to part with that child later. So what kind of quality do you need for that? I mean, do you have to be quite a strong person to be able to foster, because you then have to part way with the child that you perhaps spend quite a lot of time with, but then they potentially go back to their birth parents?
Adaptable. I'm going to throw that one out.
Covers that. Yeah.
And I guess there's another word I'm thinking of, but it's not there at the minute. But
I think
someone who bounces back. I can't think what that word is.
Yeah, resilient.
That's the one. Thank you.
I think you have to. I mean, going into fostering, the ideal situation is that the child will return to the birth parents or birth parent. And I think if you keep that in the back of your mind, and yes, only natural will you become attached, of course. But I think in the back of your mind, if you know that at the end of the journey that the child spends with you, if you've given them something positive that they can then move on with, and that helps them further down, their journey of life, a stepping stone that they may not have received had they not come to your house or been in your family for that short period of time, then it almost, that pain of, I'll say, losing them at the end of it,
the separation,
is almost sort of taken away by the feeling that you have given them something
something positive,
that will help them
to move on with. So you've given, all of us take stuff from different people as we're growing up, don't we? So you've given that child something really positive and really, a stable place to be for that time while things were being worked out back at home and things. So you just got to keep on to that positives. And I guess I know it's completely different. Well, it's not completely different, I guess, but we foster dogs, so you've done that with them. And
and I tell you what, Cathy, there's plenty of tears.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. We're pet owners too. We've got loads. That leads on as well. And you're obviously, there's having pets at home is no bar to you having foster children, is it?
No, of course not. No. And they've been really accommodating with that, because we have got like a mini zoo. Let's be honest, 2 dogs, 2 cats. We did have a tortoise as well, but it's just, they've just been fully inclusive. And actually, when we've been asked about how Surrey have supported us, at no point has it even been an issue, if that makes sense. So you know from that it's the totally inclusive.
Yeah, and any time that we've had training, you know, with other couples, there's never been a sort of, you know, elephant in the room that we're the same sex couple. It's never even sort of raised its head above the parapet or anything.
Exactly the way it should be, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a, I don't know, it's just not a problem, is it?
No,
at all.
No,
That's really good to hear. Absolutely fantastic to hear, because some people maybe still put off by doing fostering because they're worried how they're going to be looked at. But you know, if you say it's not even been an issue. But my next question would be, like, do you think, does it also depend on what local authority? Because it just sounds like Surrey County Council is just doing such an amazing job, and I don't know, you probably don't have experience with another local authority, but I'd imagine they're all pretty much the same. That's what I'm kind of hoping. But I feel like we are lucky that we live where we live and we are covered by Surrey County Council. Because, they are doing an incredible job. They are so incredibly inclusive, aren't they?
Definitely. Yeah. And being honest, Jana, as well, I don't think, you know, if throughout our fostering journey someone had offered us to go through, you know, a different local authority or a private organisation, I can wholeheartedly say I would have declined, because it has just been so positive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good to hear. Really good to hear.
It's kind of making me emotional because, like,
don't, because I'll start.
No, do you know, it's because I met those ladies that I've been talking to from Surrey County Council that deal with fostering, like Lisa and Francesca and Natalie, and I've met them in quite a difficult time of my life, and like I feel they're doing this incredible thing, and now you just confirming how amazing they are and what incredible job they're doing, and I'm like, I'm so proud. I am so proud of where I live, of our council, what they're doing, and you know that I'm emotional.
And our social worker, our assessing social worker, Sonia, she has been fantastic throughout all of it, Myra. Even if we've messaged and said, you know what, we're running a little bit late, we've got a vet appointment, or I don't know, the removals have just arrived today. Regardless, she has been completely and utterly flexible.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's such an important role that you're doing, because there's you know, such a need for foster carers out there. You know, there's so many children that need us to be there for them. And if we can encourage more people by, you know, getting the awareness out there like we're doing this week, to see that it's not that difficult. You know, it is an easy process. They will help you through it, and if you want to do it, then just, you know, go for it. And then get the information. There's plenty of information on their website, isn't there, about
and it explains everything, Cathy. The whole process, the allowances that come with it as well, because that's always a bit of a bone of contention as well. Some people say, you know, it does go through it all. And the other thing to really praise them for is the training. So not just the training we've had with our assessing social worker, but also the training that's offered from other companies through Surrey as well.
That's good.
We're subscribed to a therapeutic parenting website, which we get daily and weekly newsletters, and again, options to do training. There's another two websites. One's called Olive. You guys might be aware of that one.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
I want to say EC, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I've done quite a lot of training through that as well, and you can pick your courses. There's just so much that you can do.
And as regards to like the age of children, do you get like a choice maybe, or you know, do you get put in a certain like section that's up to a certain age, or is that dependent on each child, or how does that work for you?
So they do ask you of what sort of age range would you be interested in dealing with. So myself and Laura, we sort of went from 2 to 7 now, because Laura is going to be the main foster carer, because I work full-time, and she's on a career break, as we previously mentioned. She's a teacher as well, so she's a primary school teacher, and that age fits in to her speciality, so to us that made sense.
We get the terrible twos.
But then sort of as we've progressed, we have been sort of edging our upper limit a little bit more out. So we may, with discussions with our assessing social worker, we may go towards a sort of 10 mark, and that sort of covers a wider arc. Really.
That's quite a difference, isn't it, though? Because like age of 2 and age of 10, it's a massive difference.
It's a big difference.
So it's very brave, but I mean, personally, I love kids between 2 and 4. I think they're the cutest. You know, they're walking, they start talking. It's so cute and adorable, but it's also quite difficult, isn't it? Because you're constantly running after them, and they're like trying to pull things. It's like you have to like secure everything. Whereas when you get to 10, they're like, you know, you can tell them, no, don't touch that, or don't climb on that. But they come with different kind of issues and problems at that age.
Yeah. Our assessing social worker keeps edging us for teenagers. So we have an ongoing, battle. Battle's the wrong word, but you know, in-house jokes with her about whether we'll actually expand, because from what we know is if we go with a 2 to 10 age bracket, we go with that age bracket to panel. If we are successful, which we hope we will be, we are then offered, you know, placements with children of that age. If at a later date we kind of said, you know what, we want children who are teenagers, I'm going to go back to teaching, whatever the reason might be, we would then go back to panel and present with that age range in mind. So yeah, that's something to be mindful of. It doesn't mean that once you've said 2 to 10, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, there is scope to move.
Okay.
So going to panel is for you in this process so far, in this, you know, becoming foster carers, going to panel is the final step.
Yes, yeah.
Can you kind of explain what happens at panel and how that works?
So for all of our training and interviews, basically, this is how I sort of interpret it. All of our training and interviews creates our sort of profile and our assessment. Our assessment is then finalised and written up by our assessing social worker. She then presents it, he or she, whomever they may be, then presents it to the panel of people, who then, when we attend panel, that, you know, they take information from that and they ask you sort of questions. I don't know what the questions are, but they ask you a range of questions and then just do the assessment from there to see if you're, I'm going to say, good enough to be suitable to be a foster.
I've just got this vision of like the X Factor table. With the judge behind it, you know.
I like that, Cathy, but I don't think it will be.
No.
Probably be Laura like this.
It'd be too stressful for you.
They get
that'd be wonderful once you get through that. And you're like,
they get the assessment as well, Cathy, 2 weeks prior to the 23rd. So our assessing social worker at the minute has the job of writing all of our assessment up, which, like Myra said, it includes all of those things. It also includes any training that we've done. We do a self-reflection on, so it not word to word, but kind of in the line of 5 things you've learned from this training or this information, and that can be courses, it can be things that we've watched on Netflix which lend themselves to fostering and children. There's YouTube things that you can watch, there's books you can read. There's so much. It's not just sitting in front of a laptop and doing training online, but you do the 5 things that you've learned, and then it's a paragraph, I would say, on how you think this will impact your foster journey or your foster career, I guess. So we've done quite a lot of that, and then that whole document, it gets written up. Our assessing social worker points out our strengths, not weaknesses, any vulnerabilities, and that's with everybody. And then the panel get that 2 weeks ahead of the meeting. They can look at it. We can look at it as well, so we can see what our assessing social workers said about us. And I think we have to sign it actually before it goes to panel. But there's a lot of information that's collated, as well as, you know, full medicals from both of us, references written and verbal. So we had to think of that's awful. Nominate 4 people. One had to be a family member to be referees for us. What else did we do in the process? Is that kind of it?
I think that's
With all the
really the online.
Yes, you have to have DBSs, don't you?
Say again,
DBS
sorry.
check you have to get.
Yes, DBS.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
The medical was quite intense
Yes.
in terms of the information that they gather about you.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I thought it would be quite basic, but our GP at the time actually said, "Where are they sending you to? Space?"
Oh wow,
we were
what kind
filling
of
it all out.
medical do you have to pass to become a foster parent? That's
So
interesting.
it was just, you know, sort of height, weight, blood pressure, past medical history, any sort of medications or whatnot that you might be on. It's just
Okay,
quite a
well,
lot
I
of
suppose
questions.
they want to know you're not dying in the next couple of weeks if you go to
Yeah,
foster, I
definitely.
suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I imagine that
What is
it's quite,
physically?
yeah.
Especially
I mean,
3-year-old.
obviously that is really important, but I'm sure at the same time it's nothing to be worried about. They
Oh,
have
no,
to do it quite in depth. But
It's
what I
just
want to,
part of their checks.
yeah. So what I want to
Yeah.
say, although the process is quite a long process, but from what I'm hearing, it's quite well spread out.
Yeah.
I get feeling that you feel like you're getting sufficient enough training and you feel prepared and ready. So would you say it's hard, like, because I don't want to say it's easy or it's hard, but you know, it's doable, right? Anyone can
Definitely.
do it if they want to, right?
Yeah.
And actually, although it's been an intense 6 months, which I think is the word for it, not intense all of the time, but in terms of the questions that you ask, I mean, they take you right back to your childhood and your life as a person, and you know, experiences you've had, bereavements, because they want to know everything. So some people might find it invasive, but actually we've enjoyed every part of it, haven't we?
It's been good.
And we've grown together. There's bits
Yeah.
that I didn't know about Myra didn't know about me. So yeah, I think it's unified
Fantastic.
a little bit more, hasn't it, really?
Yeah, totally.
It's about growing personally as well, isn't it? Through the process. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually,
I'm really excited for you.
as we were talking earlier to our social worker about how, because fostering is big into therapeutic parenting, so you'd be better to talk about this, Laura, because you were the one describing it, how actually now if we do have a little tiff, we'll call it,
let's call it a tiff,
whereby, you know, previously we may have handled it differently to how we handle it now. So now we might be like, go on, you describe it.
We've definitely, I was saying this earlier, we've definitely developed as a couple and progressed. So previously they talk about adult child parent mode, and how people, and not it's not wrong to do it, but that people can adopt that personality depending on the situation. So prime example, this morning Myra was moody, we were going somewhere, I then said, don't worry about it, I'll go by myself. But actually, on reflection, whilst I was brushing my teeth, I thought at the minute that Myra's behaviour is communicating something. Now, I would never have said that before. I would have stuck in dog mode and said, I'm going by myself. And probably we would have sat in the car for 5 minutes and I'd have been like, I'm trying to move. And Myra would have been sat there, you know, insisting that she was coming with me. And one of us probably would have given up. But yeah, the therapeutic parenting is amazing, and there's so many things from that I've taken as a teacher that, you know, I can't wait at some point to apply into the classroom.
That's fantastic.
I'd recommend anyone looks at therapeutic parenting.
That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, that sounds really fantastic.
There's generally a reason for behaviour. You know, why anyone, you know, child, adult, or whatever, is behaving the way they are, and it's just taking a step back and thinking about that before you react, isn't it? And
yeah, definitely. And that's a key. That's a key message, I think, Cathy, because when you're in it, it's so easy to go into that child mode or to go to, you know, parent mode of, you know, whatever you're going to say in that moment.
Yeah.
But it is that reflection and thinking, hang on, you know, they're doing this or because of X, Y, and Z, or having that conversation, having that empathy to you know, further and see, you know, what the need is really.
The tantrum, there's a reason behind the tantrum. There's something that's caused that, you know. It's
Yeah, we all have tantrums. You don't have to be a child or have a child to experience a tantrum. We all have tantrums. Yeah, I think it's different experiences in life that teach you deal with those situations, don't they? Like, I don't know. Like I said before, we don't have a child. We still have tantrums, mostly coming from me. Molly's the cool one. She's like so laid back. She's British. I'm not. Brits are so laid back. Almost horizontal. I'm really not. But I've learned to be. We've been together roughly 8 years, and I just learned to be a different person and different experiences in life. Like I said earlier to you ladies, passing of my mum, just made me think, just revalue everything, and again, if I was to now decide to become a foster parent, I think you again revalue everything you've done and how you feel and how you act, and I think these are amazing things, and I can't say this enough, how like you ladies give out such amazing vibes. So I believe you are nervous before your panel meeting, but I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine.
Thank you. We're so excited, Jana, as well. We literally can't wait.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. But you must come back and tell us how you get on.
We will. We will definitely update you.
Yeah, you must keep in touch. I don't know, Cathy, do you have any more questions?
I don't think so.
Or any more things to contribute?
Anyway, just my experience. I brought up my granddaughter from 3 months old, not on a official foster carer, but as through private arrangement, advised by social workers from Surrey County Council. And they were very good at giving us that advice as well. But obviously I didn't have the training. But then I brought up 4 children of my own anyway. So initially I took her on as a temporary basis, thinking Mum would be okay to have her back eventually once she'd grown up, because she was very young when she had her. But that never happened. So we've still got her now, and she's just turned 17. So it is very rewarding. It has got its ups and its downs, and I've never known right from when she was 3 months old when I first had her whether she would go again, back to Mum. She never did. She's still here, but it's like having another daughter of my own, really. But I'm always conscious that she's not mine. She's my granddaughter. There's still that bloodline, I guess. So, but it is very rewarding, because you are giving them. To me, she's on loan to me, and you're giving them. That time, which has turned into 17 years in my case, but it might be a couple of weeks for you, it might be a couple of years, whatever. It's like you've said yourselves, it's giving them something to take them further onto their journey. You give them that time and that your wisdom, because you're gonna have wisdom of your lives, what you've gone. That's why you've gone through all this, like reevaluating your own lives, and then you'll be able to give to these little children to take onto their lives, and it's and equip them to be able to go back into their homes or wherever they're going to go to next, with that experience of being with you, and hopefully that's something they'll never forget. So I think what you're doing is amazing, and I wish you all the best with it. I'm really excited for you to get through panel and hear all about it.
Thank you.
I've had a little suspicion that talking to the 3 of you really is going to make me feel like, maybe I should foster.
Do it.
The whole point of this, really.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I take my hat off, to you all. I think it's amazing that you want to do it, and it's maybe something to consider. We never said no to helping kids, and maybe fostering is one way of helping kids. I mean, we do it in other ways, but fostering is just that step up, isn't it? And wow, it
won't work for everybody, will it? But it's it is very rewarding, and it's definitely something to consider, look into, and see if it would be for you. It's I think it's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Laura and Myra, I mean, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I just want to say we wish you all the best on your journey of becoming foster parents, and please keep in touch. We want to know how you got on, and like I said, I get such a fantastic vibe from you both. Like there's not going to be an issue, and you're going to be walking around Surrey, wherever that is, with a little child soon. I'm sure of that. But please send us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, you
too. And you know, thank you. It was a very short notice as well, and you know we appreciate it. And thank you to yourself and Surrey County Council as always. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, thank you. You take care, and we will be speaking to you soon.
Okay,
thank
take
you.
care,
Bye-bye.
ladies.
Bye.
How fantastic were they, Cathy?
They were brilliant. A lovely, lovely couple. Yeah, I think
fantastic.
they're going to really enjoy it once they get through panel. I'm sure they'll get through panel without any problem at all. And we look forward to hearing about the next stage of their journey. It's going to be great.
Absolutely. I mean, that panel would be making a big mistake if they wouldn't allow them to have a child.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Cathy, thank you so much for joining me and talking to ladies.
Great. Yeah, my pleasure.
I will hopefully see you soon.
Yeah, take care, everyone.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and take care. Bye-bye.
Was that okay?